right, we're here at Mission Chicago, and this is the Star Trek Strange New Worlds prop and costume exhibit for the show that's going to begin on Paramount Plus May 5th. So what we have when we walk in here, this is a costume worn by Ethan Peck's Mr. Spock. This is Vulcan casual wear, I suppose, worn outside of Starfleet when he's back on his home planet. Civilian attire is the official caption here for the product. We also have some Vulcan artifacts. We have a scroll inside some sort of plastic container. I'm sure it's some kind of futuristic space metal and material. We also have a Vulcan necklace and pendant. Looks like this is a small container that opens up with a pendant inside. Very similar to the pendant we saw in the Kelvin Timeline movie, Star Trek Beyond, the Vulcan pendant Spock gave to Uhura in that film. We also have a Vulcan women's civilian attire, worn by who we assume at this point is T'Pring, who was Spock's betrothed mate from the original series, and rumored to be part of the Strange New World show. Very elegant, again a dark blue gown matching Spock's attire. Throughout the exhibit, we also have concept art from the series. These are some scenes on planet Vulcan, both a romantic fireplace and it looks like a bedroom here perhaps as well. Around here we've got some more concept art of the Starship Enterprise, including the transporter room, the outside of the ship, Captain Pike on his bridge, more consoles on the bridge, very reminiscent of the original series, updated for the new era. Again, the transporter room. We have sickbay, what appears to be a conference room here on the ship. We have the corridor of the Enterprise and a look at main engineering from the ship. In this case, and the nice, wonderful staff member from Mission Chicago doing a great job. We have what looks to be the studio scale model of the new Enterprise, produced by Novos a few years ago. It's been at a few different shows since it debuted. Then we move into our Starfleet time. We have Captain Pike's duty uniform right here. This is the new design for the new series, updated from Discovery. And you can see that on the shoulders we have the Command Delta pattern right there embedded into the fabric. That's similar for all the Starfleet uniforms in the series, where the division symbol is on the sleeves of the uniform. And you can see we have his gold captain bands here. The uniform pants, again redesigned from Discovery. They don't have the compression panels those costumes do, but instead stripes down to the custom boots that are designed from the designed for the series. These boots are actually available for sale by the manufacturer in both black and white for the medical version. Over here we have some of the props from the show. The new communicator right here, which I'll get a better view of. Again, updated from the original series, but further away from the designs for Star Trek Discovery. The new phaser, Type 2, which, assuming, will separate into a Type 1 as well. Another update to the 60s design. And the new tricorder, which is very much targeted towards that 1960s look, but with a modern, more modern design with the machined metal and black accents and strap. Here is Mr. Spock's duty uniform, blue of course, and again he's got the science division pattern on his sleeves. Same with Cadet Uhura, who will be a younger version of the character from the original series, wearing the same cadet badge that was introduced in Star Trek Discovery here, but again her red uniform has the operations division patterned on her sleeves. Now this is a version of the skirt uniform from the original series, and for this update the women's cut have black panels on the sides of the torso to give the costume a little more definition. This is another uniform worn by Cadet Uhura. This is a version of a dress uniform for cadets, This has a more of a generic Starfleet Delta pattern in the shoulders and some gold piping, but like other Starfleet cadet uniforms we've seen, red shoulders, gray body and uniform underneath. Very similar to cadet uniforms in Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Picard. Another duty uniform here. This is number 1, Commander Una Chin Riley, played by Rebecca Romaine. Again, this is the skirt version with the black panels on the torso, and as you can see, looks pretty good when on the actor. Around here in this corner, we have a very elegant, very intricately detailed ball gown from the new series. This will be worn in an upcoming episode by the Enterprise Chief of Security, La'an Noonien Singh, played by Chrissy Chong. It's described as a princess dress from a planet we'll see in an upcoming episode, designed for the actor, and she'll be holding, looks like a nice puppy with her, and we have not the same dog, of course, but a nice stuffed replica here in her hands. Dr. Mabenga is the Chief Medical Officer on this version of the Enterprise. He'll be later seen in the original series. His uniform is blue and is slightly different from the other male cuts of the uniform. His collar is about 1.5 inches wide, black, similar to Dr. McCoy's medical outfit in the original series. And the clasp is not a front zipper, but a fold-over panel, much like a medical smock you might see in other settings. So it is a zipper inside here. It's hard to see on video, but this is a zipper and clasp on the side to hold this shut. This is Hemmer, the chief engineer of the Enterprise. He is a blind Enar, a cousin species of Andorians introduced in Star Trek Enterprise. Here, Hemmer, who will be played by Bruce Horak, who is himself visually impaired, is wearing not only his red Starfleet uniform, but also a, I will probably say, imitation leather Starfleet away mission jacket, which has the Starfleet Deltas in various places patterned on the outfit, and a patch on the side with the Starship Enterprise mission logo, which we'll see on the ship in various set pieces throughout the series. Looks pretty comfortable, and I'm sure there are fans who would buy their own version in a heartbeat if they had the chance. Turning around, we have a women's cut of the standard uniform. This is La'an Singh's regular duty uniform as Chief of Security, very similar to Captain Pike and Mr. Spock's uniform. The women in the cast have talked on stage this weekend here at the event that they may alternate between the two different designs. As you can see here, we've got two different women's cuts of the various uniforms. Each actor will be seen in both variations as the series proceeds. This white uniform is for Nurse Chapel, again from the original series, here played by Jess Bush. It is probably the uniform that is closest in style to the Star Trek Discovery medical uniforms worn by Wilson Cruz in the first 2 seasons of the show. It has the side compression panels around the torso, zippers on the hips, but in this case, like Mabenga and the other uniforms in Strange New Worlds, the division symbol, in this case a cross for medical, is patterned on the shoulder and sleeves. For this display, she's wearing a Sciences Division badge that may change to a medical symbol once we see what's actually used on the series. This is likely a replica simply for this display, so no fan with grabby fingers doesn't walk away with a set-use prop. Finally, we have a swashbuckling outfit worn by Erica Ortegas, played by Melissa Navia. Erica is the navigator on the Enterprise under Captain Pike, and like the dress worn by La'an Singh a few minutes ago, this is quite detailed. Buckles, patterns, clearly made from many pieces of material, protection on the arms, protection on the shoulders. We see here in the Strange New Worlds trailer sword fighting at a certain point. So this is clearly part of whatever that scenario is from. And here we can see it's called an Elysian Knight uniform. And here's concept art of the actor in costume. Very intimidating. So that is the Strange New Worlds costume exhibit here at Mission Chicago. It may appear at some other events throughout 2022. We don't know yet, but it'd be surprised if this was the last place we'll see it. So that's what we have here. Strange New Worlds is out on Paramount Plus May 5th and will follow on CTV Sci-Fi in Canada. And we're hoping, like the rest of you, that friends around the world will get to see the show soon.